and it was so freaking hot. Like, why are you taking a towel out of your backpack? And he got on one knee, so sparkly enough. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a requested video, which I'm excited about. I had somebody request a storytime video on how Ben and I got engaged. So I thought that that would be a really fun one to film and to talk about, and so that's what today's video is. So if you want to find out how he proposed, then keep on watching. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my channel, I am married to Ben. We've done a lot of videos together, and so you should definitely check them out. We just hit our 1.5-year marriage anniversary, which is really cool, and we got engaged on October 5th, 2014, and got married on September 19th, 2015, so almost a year later. We had been together about 2 years at the point when he proposed, and I honestly thought with Ben, like for me, I was one, like I knew early on that Ben was like my one, which is so cheesy, but people that know us in person, like as a couple, not just through a camera, they know that we have like a really special connected relationship. Like we just get each other, it just works. Like we're literally made for each other. Like I couldn't think of a more perfect pair, which sounds so cheesy, but I still feel this way like 5 years later. We're still just as obsessed with each other. But that's actually, on a little tangent, that's one piece of advice I have for anyone that's like trying to find love or whatnot, is if it's right, it will be easy. And it's like as simple as that. If it's right, it will be easy. Like, of course, you'll have some trials and stuff in your marriage, your relationship. There'll be some disagreements and whatnot, but like your day-to-day life, if you're struggling and it's difficult, like it's probably not right. Like with Ben, from day one, it was so easy. It always has been. And so anyways, so like I said, I knew early on that like Ben was gonna be like my one, and I have always been one who wanted to kind of get married young and have kids young. That's kind of always what I wanted. So at that time, before he proposed, like I was definitely ready, but I didn't think he was, because I'd always like, I'd drop hints about marriage and whatnot, and I would joke with him like, oh, you're never gonna propose, like because he wasn't one who grew up like with this idea of like marriage and family. Like it wasn't something that was as important to him. Like he didn't feel like he had to get married before he met me. And so I thought that it was gonna be something that like was gonna take 5, 6, 10 years for him to propose, but it didn't turn out that way. So we had been together about 2 years, and we were taking a trip to Hawaii with my family. And this was the trip that we had planned for like well over a year. Like we planned it so far in advance, and we were all staying in a house in Kauai, and it was just perfect. Like I absolutely love Hawaii. I'm dying to go back. Hawaii is like by far my favorite vacation spot. And so knowing that this had been planned for so long, and like I just was thinking, this is the perfect place to propose if he's going to. Like I still didn't really think he was in that spot yet, but I was like in the back of my mind hoping like this is the perfect time to propose. Like what better time? We'd never been on like a real vacation together. It was like perfect timing. We went to Hawaii, and early on in the trip he was like, we should plan a day to go and do something, just the two of us. Because I was like, okay, in my mind thinking like maybe that's when he would propose if he's gonna. Still not really convinced he's gonna, but so I think it was like the 3rd day of the trip, we had determined like that was the day we were gonna go and do something together. It was a Sunday. I remember this very specifically for a reason that I'll get into. And we were hanging out. We had planned to like hang around, eat lunch. Ben wanted to watch some football, and then like go on a little adventure that afternoon. And so like in the morning, we were like, I remember being in the pool, just hanging out, and Ben was like, let's just go. And I was like, what do you mean let's just go? Like you want to watch football? And he's like, no, let's just go. And I was like, something about Ben is, Ben in football, he is obsessed. He does not miss games. Football is like Sundays, he is in front of the TV, it's football. And so having him say like, oh no, I don't care, I don't want to watch football, like let's just go, set off another red flag in my mind, because I'm like, okay, if he wants to just go, that's really weird. And he was acting so strange, and I even called him on it. I was like, why are you being so weird? He was like, oh, am I being weird? I don't know, I'm just like anxious to go. And I'm like, okay, things are really getting weird here. So we decided to go to this like beachy cliff area near the house and kind of go on a hike. And it was so freaking hot. Like literally, I think the hike was like cut short because it was so hot. So we hiked to the top of this cliff, took some pictures, looked around, walked a while further to another part of a cliff. And like by that point, I literally was like, I am so hot, I want to go back down and like go in the water. And so the whole time I was up there, I was thinking like, if he's gonna propose, this is gonna be the time. And so I feel like I was acting kind of weird, but I don't know if he noticed that because he was already like acting so weird. Because I just like had this thought, like if it's gonna happen on this trip, this is the time it's gonna happen. Like this is it. And but at the same time, I didn't want to get my hopes up because he had given me no hints whatsoever that he was gonna propose. Like we'd never talked about rings, like he knew like what I wanted, but we never like picked anything out together or anything like that. Like, so we were out on top of this cliff and I was taking pictures. I'll insert some pictures here. I took this picture literally like 2 seconds before he proposed. So I was just like taking pictures, and he had taken a towel out of his backpack. And I was like, which I thought was so strange, and I even said, I was like, why are you taking a towel out of your backpack? Because the water was way down below, like we were on a cliff. And so I was so confused. And then I saw also in his hand along with the towel was a ring box, and he then put the towel on the ground because we were on like a rocky ass cliff, so I understand why he wanted to put something under his knee. When I called him on it, I was like, why do you have your towel out? He's like, just, it's nothing. Like he didn't really have an answer. And then he put it down and he got on one knee, and I can't really remember, honestly. I think I blacked out everything that was said. Just really nice things, which is personal. I'm not gonna like go into what I remember just because it's kind of our moment, but really sweet things were said. He opened the box and I was literally like shocked by the ring, because it was without a doubt, like if I could have designed a dream ring for myself, this was it. Like it was absolutely everything I wanted, which I know like the ring is not as important as like the love, like that's not, you know, it's kind of silly, but you know, it's still something that I'm going to be wearing for every day of the rest of my life. And like the fact that it was absolutely perfect for me was just like really, really cool and really special. And that he like took the time to design it and thought that this is what I would like, and it was really cool. So yeah, so he opened the box and it was like super sunny out, so it was so sparkly, and I was just like, oh my god. And I always thought that like, despite not really being a crying type of person, I always thought that the moment I got proposed to, I would cry. And I didn't. Like there was no tears whatsoever. I was just so ecstatic. Like I was jumping up and down, like so excited. It was like the perfect moment. Like it was exactly what I could have ever dreamed for, hoped for. It was perfect. And just being in that setting, and so now like Kauai will always have a special place in my heart because of that. And it was really fun. The only people who knew about us getting engaged was Ben's dad and my dad. My mom didn't know, my sister didn't know. And my mom had even said to my dad after we left, like, oh, I wonder if Ben's gonna propose. And my dad's like, no, like they're just going out and having fun. And so he proposed, and I was like, can we go home? Like I want our date to be over because I want to go tell everybody. And so we went home, and I walked in the door, and I literally, like, my mom was like, why are you back already? And I just went, And she was like, oh my God, and was so excited. And I guess I could show you guys. You've probably seen my ring in like makeup tutorials and stuff, but since I was talking about it. So it's in a platinum setting and has like the two little, I don't know what to call it, connecting to the middle with a round stone and a halo around it, which I love halo rings, so it was literally perfect. And so yeah, so we went home and I told my family, my sister, everyone, like called and texted all my friends, and it was really exciting. It was really fun, and I literally started planning my wedding like on that trip. I was calling venues, like I was ready to jump right in. And I knew the reason why I really wanted to jump in so quickly was because I really wanted our wedding date, which September 19th is the anniversary of our first date, and it just so happened to fall on a Saturday, and it just so happened to fall about a year after we got engaged, so it was literally the perfect date. So I jumped straight into planning mode to grab that date up real quick, and I did. It's funny now because Ben talks about how panicked he was carrying a ring like on a plane and traveling with it because it was in his backpack the whole time. Like I had no idea it was there. He wasn't gonna put it in his luggage in case his luggage got lost, and he was like so afraid that it was gonna go through security and they were gonna take it out for some reason, or that I was gonna see it. And he was like, I checked that ring in my backpack like a million times on the flight, but he successfully got it to Hawaii and got it on my finger, and it all worked out. So that's it. It wasn't anything like crazy extravagant or anything, but it was literally exactly what I would have ever wanted. And it resulted in a marriage that is just amazing, and I can't wait to continue for many, 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 many years. So I think that's it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked hearing my proposal story. And if you have any sort of requests, like how this video was a request, please let me know. I would love to do requests for you guys. And if you have not yet subscribed, then go ahead and do so. I would love if you stuck around, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.